Why the narcissist was in competition with you. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. And yes, it is colder today than it was yesterday. There's snow on the ground, and I may fumble through some of my words again because it is about 23 degrees. It's freezing. Having said that, why the narcissist, or how the narcissist was in competition with you? Remember, competition is something that you sign up for. It's something that you want to participate in. It's something you agree to. Competition should not be your wife or your husband or your partner or your best friend or your child. Competition shouldn't be your siblings or with your parents. Competition is not good if you don't know you are involved in it. Now, this is what the narcissist did to you. When they were with you, they manipulated you every which way till Sunday. And they tricked you, they trapped you, they blamed you, they kept you stuck on that hamster wheel of abuse, and they were competing with you day in and day out. They never gave you credit for the competition that they were in with you, but they were in competition with you. Meaning, if they could make you doubt yourself or question yourself, or maybe if they could have you believe that the narcissist actually did know more than you did, or they were more intelligent, or whatever they would try to plant seeds of in your mind, then that would be one step for them controlling you. The more you listened to the narcissist, the more you lost your sense of self. The more you paid attention to what they were telling you, the less you paid attention to yourself. What you eventually found out is you were putting that person high up on a pedestal to the detriment of you, and you were doing whatever they wanted you to do whenever they wanted you to do it, and you would say, "Thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am, may I have another?" because you were trying to fix an unfixable relationship. You were trying to get back to that love bomb / euphoric stage. You were thinking that that person had concerns. I'm talking about the narcissist. You were thinking that that person had concerns that you could help them out with, and that they would see the light, and that they would change, or that tomorrow would be a better day. Well, tomorrow never came. What came was gaslighting. What came was the silent treatment. What came was verbal abuse and financial abuse and being walked in front of 30 feet in front of. What came was you being hung up on. What came were sleepless nights, health concerns, lost jobs, not focusing on your hobbies. You probably gained weight or lost weight. You became a shell of yourself, an extension of the narcissist, and you were doing whatever you could do to maintain whatever little breadcrumb of a relationship there was left when you were in it. The narcissist starts off strong in these relationships, meaning they usually love bomb people. And love bomb doesn't have to be romantic. You could be being love bombed when it's your first day at work with your boss. You could be being love bombed when you are in a hotel and you're sitting next to somebody and watching a show, and they could just be lathering you up, taken away from you watching the show. You see, the narcissist is everywhere. And you need to understand that as soon as you identify that someone is toxic, maybe even narcissistic, you need to get as far away from them as fast as you can. Because as the thumbnail mentioned, the narcissist was in competition with you. They were competing with you for virtually everything. And here we go. First, for your children or stepchildren's love, time, or affection. Or think about this, when you were with the narcissist, say you married them, or they were somebody you had children with or stepchildren with, they weren't co-parenting with you. They were counter-parenting against you. So if you put up a rule with the kids, like, hey, no devices after 7 o'clock, and make sure that you clean your room and you brush your teeth and you have 1 hour for reading or whatever it is, and then go to bed because tomorrow's a school day. Well, the narcissist is going to do none of that. They can't have that. They'll slide the devices to the kids, say, don't worry about the homework. You can stay up as late as you want to. I'll take care of my partner, which was you. Don't worry about what they say. You do what I tell you. And that drives division between you and the kids, and truthfully, you and anybody. But now, let's use the kid example. Now what happens? Well, maybe it's 10 o'clock, it's past the kids' bedtime, and you go check in on them, and they're having popcorn and all the juice in the world, and they haven't lifted a finger to do homework, and the sparkly lights are going on in the bedroom, and they're laughing it up, watching TikTok or whatever, and you're like, what happened? And they would say, oh, mom said it's okay, or dad said it's okay. And you would be like, but what? I don't get this. You're at school tomorrow. Right there is your counter-parenting. That's not co-parenting. And then what happens? You're the villain. Now, when you stand up for yourself or say something, now the narcissist throws you under the bus. and they say that you're no fun, or you're a party pooper, or that you never got good grades anyway, so what does it matter? Well, you see, this is why narcissism is generational. You are becoming the generational curse breaker. I am the generational curse breaker, which means once you see toxicity and you understand what it is, and it does have two legs and walks and talks just like you do, and it slithers into people's lives, it infiltrates people's lives, and it wants to destroy people from the inside out. Once you understand that, you really need to go no contact and block that person you're considering, or those people. Delete them, remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them, if not now, when? Now remember the competition I shared with you earlier. Again, let's talk about you for a minute. Maybe you were in high school, or maybe a university, or even maybe recently, maybe you signed up for a 4K run or a 20K marathon run, or maybe you signed up to take some class, spinning class, or Pilates or something. Who knows what it was, but you signed up for a class, and what did you do? You signed up because you want to improve something about yourself. You don't care what the other students are doing in the class. That's up to them. You're in competition with yourself. What you're trying to do is learn a new skill, or lose 10 pounds, or gain 10 pounds of muscle, whatever you're doing. But those are things you decided to do. These are things you decided to participate in. So let's go back to high school for a minute. Maybe you're on the cheerleader squad, or maybe you're on the soccer team or the football team or something. Okay, well, you did it probably because you wanted to, but you also did it knowing that there was a chance you didn't make the team. Maybe you weren't good enough that year. You're looking at somebody, yours truly, who wasn't good enough to make the team, the starting team, every year in high school, but I still played. I still participated and helped out the team the best I could. And that's what a good person does. Even though they're not in the limelight and they're not the starting person getting all the attention, they can still support behind the scenes. And again, that's what I did. But those were competitions we knew we signed up for. When you enter the vortex of the narcissist, when you enter the deep end of destruction, the cesspool of manipulation, the narcissistic relationship, you don't know what's going on because you weren't formally educated on this, and you didn't realize, and now you do, that person was trying to compete with you with how you wore your hair, with how the clothes you wore, if you were late, if you were on time, what car you drove, what kind of gas you put in your car, what shows you watched, what shows you didn't watch, where you parked your car, what peanut butter you bought, what time you woke up, what time you went to bed, how many errands you did that day, how much time did you have for yourself to do something that would benefit the narcissist, how much alone time did you have, meaning, the last two, I kind of twisted those a little bit because it's freezing cold, meaning you couldn't have any time for yourself, because let's say that you were at the house when you were with the narcissist and you would hear their car come in the carport. Well, you would jump right up like a spring, like a slinky spring, if you remember slinkies, and you would act like you were doing things. Why? Because you couldn't be yourself. You couldn't be yourself. You couldn't just be. Let's say, using that example again, I'll touch on that. Say you were relaxing, it was a Saturday, and you were taking it easy because you worked 60 hours during the week, and all the kids were out playing and or play dates wherever they were, and the house was clean, and you were just taking it easy. Maybe you got a little shut-eye for 10 or 20 minutes. Say the narcissist reared their ugly head and came home early. Well, first of all, why would they come home early? Right, to check on you, because they're making sure you're doing something. 2, to disrupt your energy, but 3, to see what you really were doing. Were you upstairs scrubbing the last tile in the bathroom? Were you upstairs fixing the leaky sink? Were you upstairs folding socks, or looking for that one sock that was hidden behind the washing or the dryer machine that you can't quite ever find? Did you clean out the lint basket? Did you make sure that the dog had enough food or the cat had enough food? Were all the knives and drawers in the drawers, knife, spoons, and forks in the drawers lined up perfectly? This is what the narcissist does. They look for anything. They are a drill sergeant, only not in the military. They're a drill sergeant in the 4 walls of the house you were living in with them. And they were competing with you. Think about this one, another one. Think about space in your house when you're with the narcissist. Well, what does the narcissist do with space? That's right, they consume space. They overtake space like a weed that won't stop growing. It infiltrates every crevice in every room in your house. So let's think about this example. Say you had an apartment and you lived by yourself and you were happy doing it. You paid your bills and everything was going great. You meet the narcissist, and let's say they tell you, hey, let's move in together. We can share rent, You have a big apartment and I can't get a rent anyway because my credit's so horrible. I'm acting like the narcissist and I'm not. But you don't know that. And you throw them an olive branch and say, sure, you can room with me. You could save a couple dollars, no problem, it's fine. Here's your key, off you go. There's your room and you're in the west wing. My room's in the east wing and it's all lined up. And let's say you've had that apartment for 2 years and you love it. You know all the people in the building, you know where the coffee shop is, where the gym is, you know where the beach is, you know where everything is, and you love it. It's a great spot. Well, as soon as the narcissist, and this is unbeknownst to you, moves in because you just let a predator on the lease with you, you just let them move in with you, well, what do? They start to take up your space. Meaning, let's go to the kitchen. Well, you had a spick and span kitchen. You never had left anything unwashed and everything was always put away properly. You wake up after day one of the narcissist being there. Again, you didn't know they were the one, but you're roommates with them and they're on the lease for say 2 years, probably something like that. Well, what happens? Now you go to the kitchen. The kitchen is piled up with dirty dishes. None of them are yours. The dishes are, you own them, but you didn't dirty the dishes. And the narcissist is just letting you clean them, but they're not going to say anything. So you, thinking that they don't know what they're doing, all right, well, I'll just clean them this one time and maybe I'll leave a note or tell them to clean them, it's fine. Well, what happens? The note goes unread or you find it in the bin or they act like they never saw it and the same thing happens tomorrow. Well, then they confiscated your kitchen. Next thing you know, you look in the refrigerator. All your pickles are gone. All the eggs are you had a dozen eggs yesterday, now you have one left and it's broken. The bread has mold on it and there's nothing edible in your fridge. Why do you think that is? The reason that is because the narcissist just took over your kitchen, your fridge and your kitchen. That's not even counting the bathroom. You probably had a spick and span bathroom. Everything was spotless. Well, what does a narcissist do? Start using your shampoo, start leaving towels on the ground and not cleaning up the toothpaste. These are all graphic examples, but it's what they do. Eventually, you didn't want to go home. Eventually, you would park in your carport when you got out of work at 5 and you'd wait till 7:30. So when they turned their light off and then you would creep into your house so you didn't want to be seen because this person wasn't listening to you. They weren't paying rent. They weren't cleaning. They were doing nothing but being a parasite. And you didn't want to talk to them. You wanted to avoid them. This is what these people do. That's why it's competition every way possible. Think about this one also when you were a kid. Say you had 2 kids. You were one of them. The one kid says, hey, we're going to have a holding of our breath contest. Who can hold our breath the longest? And you're like, sure, I'll do that. Let's try it. And the both of you hold your breath. And what happens? Well, maybe the person that challenged you to that holding the breath, maybe they won. Maybe that little kid was the narcissist because this is them practicing giving the silent treatment to somebody else when they become an adult and waiting and waiting and waiting so that person breaks. I hope you followed that example, but that is an example of how a child plays an innocent little game, but they learn that if they can play the waiting game or hold their breath longer, maybe they can punish somebody later down the road. Not insinuating or saying that every kid that holds their breath is the narcissist. That's not what I'm saying at all. I used to do the same thing, not be the narcissist, but hold my breath underwater and try to count to 30 and etc. That's called being a kid. It's actually called being an adult. But why the narcissist was in competition with you, it's because it always made them feel better. The narcissist would not tell you they were competing with you many times, but they would make digs at you, make little slights or make fun of you. Or here's a prime example. Let's say the 2 of you work together, or you met up for lunch or dinner at the mall or someplace, and then you both said, hey, okay, we're going straight home. See you home in 20 minutes. So, okay, well, you each had a car. This is what you with the narcissist. The narcissist had their car, you had your car, and they would say, okay, well, what happens? Maybe they got home right before you did, but they acted like they were home for 20 minutes, and you're like, what's the big deal? I didn't know it was a race to get home. And they're like, oh, no, it's not a race. Everything's good. I just beat you home. What's the problem? See, this is what they do. They want to infuriate you. They want to infest you. They want to live in your mind rent-free. And they're always in competition with people. Another great example, and you should know this by now. You were what was known as the new supply. The new supply is not, and I repeat, not who you want to be. The new supply is either a toxic person themselves, they are a recycled source of supply, someone who hasn't healed or broken the trauma bond or figured it out, or they are a clean slate like you were. Most likely, the new supply is either a clean slate or a recycled source. It doesn't mean they can't be toxic, but whoever the new supply is, they're getting punished or they're punishing the narcissist. But think about this. When you met the narcissist, what happened? Well, the narcissist monkey branched from other relationships onto you, throwing everybody else under the bus. Example, let's say the person that was with the narcissist before you were, say that they earned a lot of money. Well, what did they do with that money? I can assure you they spent it on the narcissist, and then the narcissist probably got them fired from their job and had to look for another person to pay their way through life. Then they found you. And what would they do? Well, they would tell you that the old person, the old source of supply, who probably is broken in 1,000 pieces, sorry to say it, but that's where we all were at one point until you figure out what narcissism is. But maybe that person isn't functioning properly. Maybe that so much damage was done to them, they never healed. I can't tell you. What I can tell you is this, is the narcissist would leverage that former source of supply with you to have you working harder for them. There's your triangulation, there's your gaslighting, there's your smear campaign, there's your planting seeds, there's your projection, there's your mirroring, there's all the toxicity wrapped up into one, which encompasses who the narcissist is. They're always competing. Think about their parents or their siblings. They're always competing with them too. Oh, you're a plumber? Oh, plumbers, whatever. Like, I wouldn't do that job in 1,000 years. Who does plumbing? Well, think about, that's what the narcissist may say because they look down on the plumbers, and I'm picking a random occupation. Plumbers are some of the smartest people on the planet because they work on their timeline and they make a boatload of money, and they will continue to make more money as AI is here because AI can't do plumbing for the world. These are all examples, but see, the narcissist will throw anyone under the bus. Maybe the person you're considering, maybe you went to med school. Let's say you're a doctor, and the narcissist you married was toxic, and they never even graduated high school. Who knows? Well, did they give you credit for being a doctor? In the beginning, they did, of course. That's when they were lathering you up during the love bomb. But over time, they didn't listen to you. They would get their own diagnosis from Google or from the interwebs, or from the person walking the dog down the street, or from the coffee barista. They wouldn't listen to you. Why? Because they're devaluing you and they're competing with you, and they wanted to punish you for being you. That's why no good deed goes unpunished when you're in these relationships. That's why you are in a lose-lose situation every minute you are in that relationship. That's why you are in a win-win for the rest of your life. Once you go no contact and block that person, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. So why the narcissist was competing with you? It's because they are in competition with everybody, from their own kids to their own stepkids to any form of romantic relationship or any of their ex-spouses, to their parents, to their besties, to their colleagues, to their coworkers, to the person in traffic, to the person at the coffee shop, like I keep mentioning, or to anybody, because the narcissist needs to be needed. They need the eyes on them, they need the attention on them, and the narcissist is always performing for an audience. Sometimes that audience is an audience of one when it was just you and the narcissist. Sometimes it's an audience of more people when you're at a barbecue. Sometimes it's a larger audience when you're at a graduation or a big holiday event or something. But the narcissist always has their mask on. They're always scouring the room, looking to see who they know, who they don't know, who they don't want to talk to, who they have to talk to, and anybody in between. And if you don't offer the narcissist, if you don't offer them value, or if you don't offer them an opportunity, they're not going to look twice at you. But that's why the narcissist tricked you and trapped you, because you had something they wanted, and they took whatever they possibly could from you until they thought they finished you off. But they didn't finish you off because you're here. And so, tying it all up for the video, why the narcissist was in competition with you. First of all, you didn't sign up for that competition. I didn't either, and I used to say that frequently over the many years being tethered with the narcissist. I would say these exact words: I didn't sign up for this because I didn't. But again, I didn't know what narcissism was. Now I do, and I definitely didn't sign up for it, and I won't anytime soon or in any foreseeable future relationship. There's no way I'm signing up for toxicity. You shouldn't either. That's why I have to get as far away from these people as fast as you can. The next thing is the narcissist will always be competing with everybody. A little kid, an elderly person, or anyone in between, because the narcissist has no love, they have no empathy, and all they want to do is put people down, belittle people, and make those people feel bad about themselves. Third thing is the narcissist will, and I do mean this, they will get their karma, they will be exposed, they will be punished, yes, that word, and so much more. But it won't come at the hands of a human being. It will come at the hands of something or some power greater than us. So please get off the radar of the narcissist. Go no contact, block them, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. The narcissist was in competition with you from the minute they met you until the minute you figured out what narcissism was. Once you get the wisdom, you really need to apply the tools and stay as far away from those people, i.e. the narcissists, as you possibly can. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful chilly Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I will share a couple things. One, it's really cold. Two, it's not really snowing as much, but I think the snow will melt by tomorrow-ish, maybe the day after. Number three, I might walk over here because it took me a while to find a nice spot because there's so much winter activity here with the snow on the ground. There are people everywhere doing things, having a great day. I am one of those people by creating videos. But I saw two beautiful hawks. One was enormous, and the other, I believe, was his partner, his wife, or whomever. And they are about 30 meters away from me in the tree right up here. I can't give you a video of them, but if on the way out I see them, I'll try and catch another video of them. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous creatures, beautiful, and they're connected with me, they're connected with you. We are all connected. Understand something, because I'm going to close this video because it is cold. The narcissist was competing with you. From getting home quicker than you could, to how you ordered your food, to what you ordered, to how you had your hair, to how you didn't have your hair, to if you were late, if you were on time, who you talked to, who you didn't, what show you watched, what show you didn't, what you participated in, what you didn't. You could never win when you were with these people. You didn't know it, but now you do. That's why once you realize you need to get away from these people as far as you possibly can. I love you all. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. It's freezing. It is so cold.